Well, here's another update on the glowing firewood swarm. They're doing well, and there's an extra box on here. I made one with grooves. Supposedly it allows the propolis to be built up and make it much more healthy for the bees. And I found a bunch of frames in my refrigerator that were drawn out and capped. And then I extracted all the honey. I left them out in the yard, and the wax moths started making trails in them. So I'm going to put them in this box. See, here's the scars from the extractor when it is pressed against the frames. Here's a pollen frame that I pulled out from somebody. Why am I putting all these resources on this colony? It's September 1st. Well, I'll show you why. I think it's possible I might get some honey out of these guys. Right now they don't have any resources, but they have lots of bees. And I'm going to space that out to 9 spacing. And I'm going to get rid of my feeder so I don't accidentally put sugar water in all this honey that I anticipate. Well, this is what I found. Down here, I'm going to put in some extra frames from the freezer. Fill in the frames that I took out. And what did I take out of here? Well, let me show you. And boy, was this hard to get back in there. I took 2 frames out of the top of here. And here's some more of that wax moth damage. There was a slightly filled brood frame and one that was packed with brood. I used them to boost another colony nearby. Well, in the bottom box, this is what I saw. And as you hear them popping, it's because this has not been opened for quite a bit. Pollen. Lots of pollen. And a little bit of honey. And more pollen. That's 2 frames of pollen. And it's the evening, probably around 5 o'clock. Overcast. So the smoke is trying to keep the bees in check. And frame number 3 is more pollen. And frame number 4. You guessed it. Pollen. And just a tad of brood on the very corner. 4 frames of pollen. Are they pollen bound? Nope. That was the end of it. And here begins brood. And you're saying that's not enough brood to keep the colony going? They need more than that. Well, More brood. That's 2 frames so far. Well, that's not quite enough to keep a colony going. And boy, was this stuck. I'm taking it slow, like I said, overcast, cloudy day, around 5 o'clock. Don't want to get stung, but man, did this have a struggle to get out. And what do we have? Drone brood. So that's 3 frames of brood so far. That's the bottom box. And the first sign of a little bit of capped honey. And they're drawing it out with nice yellow comb. And more beautiful nothingness. I'm actually going to take that one out, because I'm convinced they're not really drawing out a whole lot this time of year. So I'm going to give them a foundation instead. And the top box, what did we find? That's brood number 4. Brood number 5. Brood number 6. Brood number 7. Brood number 8. Ah, it's finally starting to end. There's a little bit of capped honey. Well, now you see why I'm going to put another frame on here to let them draw out some honey, hopefully. If anybody has a chance, these guys should do it. I've already taken out, like I said, 2 brood frames already out of this top box. And I don't want to feed them a bunch of sugar water to contaminate the possibility of honey. And I'm just going to wing it and see if some flow comes in here and they start filling out the boxes. If not, I'll just have a starving hive. But it's worth a chance. Oh. What is it, brood number 8? I lost count. And in between here, you can see the honey is built up really thick. And because I'm moving the frames around, I had to cut it out of the way. Now they'll fit. I tried not to reconfigure too much. I just took out like 2 frames of brood in the top. The ones that weren't drawn out, I put in drawn frames because they can't really do too much drawing today. And that should do it. We'll check back later and see how this colony does. Do they give me some honey? Or are they going to starve to death? We'll see. Thanks for watching.